In this video, I will talk about different types of jobs. Cleaner, driver, sales assistant, hairdresser, chef, actor, gardener, vet, doctor, nurse, dentist, police officer, firefighter, farmer, construction worker, artist, receptionist, mechanic, engineer, scientist, teacher, businesswoman, businessman, waiter, waitress, electrician, pilot, judge. Let's learn how to talk about our jobs. I am a doctor. I am a teacher. She is a student. They are doctors. We are engineers. Now pause the video and fill in the blanks with the correct verb and article. Let's check if you filled in the blanks correctly. I am a doctor. She is a teacher. They are engineers. We are lawyers. You are a student. He is a firefighter. She is a nurse. They are police officers. We are accountants. Now, we will learn vocabulary about workplaces. Farm, office, theater, school, laboratory, restaurant, construction site, hospital. Let's match the jobs with the workspaces. Question 1. Which workspace is most suitable for a software engineer? Factory, office, warehouse, retail store. Question 2. Which workspace is most suitable for a factory worker? Office, warehouse, retail store, factory. Question 3. Which workspace is most suitable for a retail salesperson? Office, warehouse, retail store, factory. Let's do a listening exercise. In the recording you will listen to soon, two people will speak about their jobs. Which of the following job titles is the occupation of one of the speakers?
Hello, how are you feeling today?
Not very well. I have a sore throat, a cough, and a fever.
I see. Let me take a look at you. It looks like you have a cold. The good news is that it's not serious. The bad news is that it's going to take a few days to get better.
How can I make it go away faster?
You can take over-the-counter medicine to help with the symptoms. You should also get plenty of rest and drink plenty of fluids.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'll also give you a prescription for some antibiotics. These will help to fight off the infection.
Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome. I'll see you back in a week to check on your progress.
Which option is true? Please choose it. Waiter, teacher, doctor, chef.
Hi, my name is John and I'm a farmer. I've been farming for over 20 years and I love my job. I get to work outside in the fresh air, and I'm always learning new things. A typical day for me starts early in the morning. I feed the animals, check on the crops, and then do some maintenance around the farm. In the afternoon, I might work in the fields, or I might go to the market to sell my produce. I usually finish work in the evening, but there are always things to do, so I might have to work late sometimes.
Which option is true? Please choose it. Nurse, farmer, scientist, builder.
Hi, my name is Sarah and I'm an actress. I've been acting for about 10 years and I love my job. I get to play different characters and tell stories.
Which option is true? Please choose it. Electrician, dentist, scientist, actress. Now pause the video and fill in the blanks. Let's check if you filled in the blanks correctly. John is a bartender. He works with drinks. Sarah is a teacher. She works with students. David is a doctor. He works with patients. Mary is an engineer. She works with machines. Michael is a singer. He works with music. Here are some key language for telling the time in English. Hour. The hour is the number of hours that have passed since midnight. In English, we use the numbers from 1 to 12 to indicate the hour. Minute. The minute is the number of minutes that have passed since the hour began. In English, we use numbers from 0 to 59 to indicate the minute. AM stands for ante-meridiem, which means before midday. PM stands for post-meridiem, which means after midday. O'clock is a word that we use to indicate that the hour is complete. For example, we would say it's 2 o'clock to mean that it is exactly 2 p.m. Half past is a phrase that we use to indicate that the hour is halfway through. For example, we would say it's 2:30 to mean that it is 2:30 p.m. Quarter past is a phrase that we use to indicate that the hour is 1/4 through. For example, we would say it's 2:15 to mean that it is 2:15 p.m. Quarter to is a phrase that we use to indicate that the hour is 1/4 before the next hour. For example, we would say it's 5:45 to mean that it is 5:45 p.m. Now is a word that we use to indicate the current time. For example, we would say "What time is it now?" to ask someone what the current time is. Here are some examples of how to use these key words to tell the time. What time is it now? It's 1 o'clock. It's 8:30. It's 5:45. A daily routine is a set of activities that you do every day. It can include things like waking up, getting dressed, eating breakfast, going to work or school, and going to bed. Learning daily routines vocabulary is important for beginners in English because it can help you to talk about your daily life. This can be helpful in social situations, at work or school, and when traveling. Here are some common daily routines vocabulary words. Wake up. Take a shower. Brush your hair. Have breakfast. Eat breakfast. Go to work. Go to school. Buy groceries. Cook dinner. Have dinner. Eat dinner. Iron a shirt. Get dressed. Brush your teeth. Wash your face. Start work. Have lunch. Finish work. Clear the table. Wash the dishes. Walk the dog. Go to bed. Here are some of the most common times of day in English: midnight, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, night. The present simple tense is one of the most common tenses in English. It is used to describe actions that happen regularly or habitually, facts, and things that are always true. The present simple tense is formed with the base form of the verb. For example, the verb to eat becomes eat in the present simple tense. I, you, we, they. Eat. He, she, it. Eats. The present simple tense is used to describe actions that happen regularly or habitually. For example, we would use the present simple tense to say I eat breakfast every day or she goes to work on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The present simple tense is also used to describe facts. For example, we would use the present simple tense to say the earth revolves around the sun or water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Here are some examples of how to use the present simple tense. I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. I go to the gym every day. She watches TV in the evening. We eat dinner at 7 p.m. They play soccer on the weekends. The dog barks. Cross out the incorrect word in each sentence. She does her homework every night. The dog barks at the mailman. The baby cries a lot. We eat dinner at 7 p.m. The sun rises in the east. There are a few exceptions to the rule of forming the present simple tense with the base form of the verb. These exceptions are verbs that end in o, ch, sh, ss, ex, or z add es to the end of the verb in the third person singular. For example, the verb to go becomes goes in the third person singular. Verbs that end in a consonant y change the y to I and add es to the end of the verb in the third person singular. For example, the verb to study becomes studies in the third person singular. Sarah's daily routine. I wake up at 7 a.m. every morning. I get out of bed and brush my teeth. Then, I go downstairs and make breakfast. I usually eat oatmeal with fruit and nuts. After breakfast, I take a shower and get dressed. I leave for work at 8 a.m. I work as a software engineer at a tech company. I work until 5 p.m. After work, I usually go to the gym. I work out for about an hour. Then, I go home and make dinner. I usually cook something healthy, like salmon with roasted vegetables. After dinner, I relax and watch TV or read a book. I go to bed at 11 p.m. Sarah wakes up at 6 a.m. every morning. False. Sarah wakes up at 7 a.m. every morning. Sarah gets dressed before she eats breakfast. True. Sarah gets dressed after she brushes her teeth and before she makes breakfast. Sarah works as a teacher. False. Sarah works as a software engineer. Sarah works until 6 p.m. False. Sarah works until 5 p.m. Sarah goes to the gym after work. True. Sarah goes to the gym after work. Sarah goes to bed at 10 p.m. False. Sarah goes to bed at 11 p.m. In English, there are 7 days in a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here are the key language prepositions and days of the week in English. On is used to refer to a specific day of the week. For example, you could say, I go to the gym on Mondays. In is used to refer to a period of days, such as a week or a month. For example, you could say, I'm going on vacation in July. At is used to refer to a specific time of day on a particular day. For example, you could say, I have a doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Here are some examples of how to use these prepositions with the days of the week. I go to the gym on Monday. I have classes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm going on vacation in the week of July 4th. I have a doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Fill in the gaps to complete the sentences. Now review your answers. We eat lunch at 3 p.m. on weekdays. I go to the gym on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have class from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I usually go to bed at 11 p.m. on weekdays. This is the vocabulary that you use to talk about what you do in your free time, at work, or in school. Here are some more specific vocabulary words for sport activities. Go to the gym. Go swimming. Play tennis. Vocabulary frequency phrases are expressions that are used to talk about how often something happens. These phrases are often used in conversation and in writing. Here are some common vocabulary frequency phrases. Always. This phrase means that something happens all the time or without fail. For example, you could say, I always eat breakfast in the morning. Usually, this phrase means that something happens most of the time, but not always. For example, you could say, I usually go to the gym on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Often, this phrase means that something happens fairly regularly, but not always. For example, you could say, I often go to the movies with my friends. Sometimes, this phrase means that something happens occasionally, but not very often. For example, you could say, I sometimes go hiking on the weekends. Rarely, this phrase means that something happens very infrequently. For example, you could say, I rarely go to the opera. Never, this phrase means that something never happens. For example, you could say, I never eat seafood.
Hi, what do you do for a living?
I'm a software engineer.
Oh, that's interesting. What do you do as a software engineer?
I write code for computer programs. I usually work on websites and mobile apps.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Do you like your job?
I do, it's very challenging and rewarding. I get to learn new things all the time, and I'm always working on new projects.
That's great. What kind of education do you need to be a software engineer?
You usually need a bachelor's degree in computer science, but there are also some coding boot camps that can teach you the skills you need.
I'm thinking about going back to school to learn how to code. Do you have any advice for me?
Sure, I would recommend starting with the basics. Learn the different programming languages and the fundamentals of computer science. Once you have a good understanding of the basics, you can start working on more advanced projects.
Thanks for the advice. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
No problem. Good luck with your studies.
Hi, what's your daily routine like?
Well, I usually wake up at 7 a.m., make breakfast, and then get ready for work. I work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then I come home and make dinner. After dinner, I usually relax and watch some TV or read a book. I go to bed around 11 p.m.
That sounds pretty similar to my routine. I wake up at 7 a.m. too, but I usually have coffee instead of breakfast. I work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. too, but I have a longer commute than you do. After work, I usually cook dinner and then spend some time with my family. I go to bed around 11 p.m. too.
That's nice. What do you do for fun on the weekends?
I usually spend time with my family and friends. We go out to eat, go to the movies, or just hang out at home. I also like to go hiking and biking.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I usually stay home on the weekends and relax. I might watch some movies or read a book.
That sounds nice too. It's important to have some time for yourself to relax and recharge.
I agree. It's important to have a balance between work and play.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this.